Hello guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the final film in our M. Night trilogy. And tonight we're looking at Glass, starring James McAvoy, Bruce Willis and of course Samuel L. Jackson. This film brings our two stories together. Unbreakable was the story of Bruce Willis playing the character as David, who believed that, well, he was convinced by Samuel L. Jackson, Jeremiah, I think his name was, or Mr. Glass, that he has a superpower because he never got ill and never got injured or anything, and he survived a train crash. And he has this ability, like when he touches someone, he can visualize something that's happened or what they've done or what they're doing. So he's got like this sort of superpower and super strength, as he discovered with his son with the weights. And then we had Split, which told the story of James McAvoy's character Kevin, who's got multiple split personalities, 22 or 23 of them, that he calls the Horde. And he was kidnapping girls and stuff like that, and some of them got to their demise until they managed to sort of escape from his grip. This brings them together in the psychiatric hospital where they have all been sort of caught. The film sort of starts with we see that Kevin, James McAvoy, has kidnapped 4 other girls and is hiding them in this warehouse area, and Bruce Willis's character David is doing his hero work again, sort of helping people out with his son, who's now grown up. They've now got 19 years behind them of the first film, and they've set up this computer system, and David is on the hunt for Kevin to get hold of these 4 hostage girls. And he discovers them in this warehouse area, and David helps the 4 girls escape. And then there's a big sort of fight between them, and the fight ends up with them both being captured by the police and taken to the psychiatric hospital. And this psychiatric hospital, where they're being treated by this woman's sort of psychiatrist doctor, who is trying to get them to believe that there's not such things as superheroes, and that they are not superheroes. It's just something they've conjured up, and it's all to do with their illnesses. Where David, though, hasn't really got an illness, has he? They are also there met up with Samuel L. Jackson, Mr. Glass, and he is still alive. He's been heavily sedated in this psychiatric hospital, because he was the one that created all those murders or those accidents in the first film, the plane crash, the train crash, all these sort of people that died at these things was all set up by Samuel L. Jackson, who was trying to prove that superheroes exist, and that's when he stumbled across David. So all 3 of these are being kept at this psychiatric hospital, and this nurse starts pulling them sort of like together, and sort of like discussions with them to try and figure them out why they think that they're superheroes, and try to prove to them that they're not. Like with David, she gives him an MRI scan, and they find some sort of shadowing on his frontal lobe of his brain, which she's saying to him that he could have got from the train accident. And she's told Jeremiah and Kevin that theirs is down to their illnesses. So are they? Are they faking this? Or are they superpowers? Or are they just creations of believing their own sort of personas? Now, where I think the only one that thinks he's a superhero in the film is actually David. Whereas I've not heard the Kevin character nor all of his multiple personalities once think he's a superhero, but he does think he beholds this creature called the Beast, which we have seen a number of times in the previous film and in this film. And we've got Jeremiah, who in fact is just someone that's been suffering all his life, feels that there must be something opposite to his suffering, and he obviously believed it was David, so he's convinced himself of this superhero thing. And because David in the first film proved with his weightlifting and his ability to see things when he touches people, I think he does believe he's got some sort of superpower, and his son also believes that. So what is she going to find out with all this investigation? Is there such things as superheroes, or like I said, or are they just imagination of what they think they are? You need to watch it and find out, because Glass is absolutely amazing. It's a fantastic film. It's a great end to the trilogy, and it brings together these three superpowers, if you like, and it's very, very intriguing and interesting. And when you're watching the first sort of hour, you're thinking, where's this film going to go? Because it's got flashbacks and stuff from their past. They've had abusive past, some of them, and things like this. And there's all these sort of like little story things that sort of draw together to try and come to this conclusion of why these three have got to the state they're in, believing that they're these sort of superheroes. It's a fascinating sort of trilogy, and sort of like, and I still class them as horror films because they are. It's a horror story, you know, like these people that believe that they're have these superpowers. Some have used it for good, like David, and some have used it for bad, like the other two. And it's like it's a very, very strange sort of concept, but it works. And this story brings the conclusion to that story. So you will need to watch it and find out. What do I think of it? I think it's amazing, and I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. Absolutely fantastic film. Really cool. Great conclusion to the trilogy. The pluses of this edition, it's on 4K. It looks stunning. It looks amazing. They with Bruce Willis's character, they've sort of taken him back to how he looked like when he was young to like now with like a grey beard and things like that. And they've done some great things and sort of character building. And James McAvoy is again absolutely fantastic in this role with his multiple personalities, really showing off some strong sort of acting skills. Samuel L. Jackson's character is pretty much quite mute throughout the film. He's like in a sort of sedated state a lot of the film because he's under sedation, because he has apparently this ability of being able to read things and figure puzzles out. He's got like a brain of like things like that, being able to figure out puzzles and all this sort of thing. So they've kept him heavily sedated. It's a great story. It's a great trilogy. Has great moments of horror. Has great moments of superheroes. It has great moments. It's sort of and science fiction as well, because it's just sort of like the indulgence of into the human brain of how some people believe that they are better or stronger than others, but they all have their own weaknesses. As you know, Samuel Jackson's is his brittle bones. We've got Kevin, who's got a reaction to light, and we've got obviously David, who has a reaction to water. So they've all, and it's all from things that stem from their past. So it's a great sort of like journey that we've taken with all three characters, and it's absolutely fantastic. Glass, 9 out of 10. Any of you guys seen it? If you have, let me know down below. I think this has been an absolutely amazing trilogy, and I don't have any problem with M. Night's films. I think he makes some amazing films. He appears in all three of these films. Yes, he does have that attitude. He is quite thinks he's the greatest thing that's ever happened to film, and he does have that sort of arrogance about him as a personality. But it doesn't mean his films are not good. His films are great. Yes, he's made a couple of clangers, but he's made a few bangers, and all three of these are. And this is a great trilogy. I recommend anybody to go and watch them if you haven't seen them. They're really cool. If you're a horror fan, superhero fan, or just someone who's a fan of a sort of mysterious sort of story, you will get something out of these three films. Thank you, guys. Thanks for watching this um, trilogy films. I will be bringing you some more sort of like exclusive sort of weeks as the weeks go on. I do want to be doing a cannibal week and reviewing some cannibal films, some of the Italian cannibal films. So I want to bring some of that to you in the next few weeks, and also I'll be bringing you some other films that I've been waiting to review for a while, things like Wolf Creek and things like that. So I'll be bringing those to you very, very shortly. Until then, please check out some other horror channels. Check out Horror Hands, The Horror Geek, Man v Film, RS Design, Pizzlewell. I am the Ice Lord Cat watches horror movies, Grumpy Andrew's Haunted House. And a massive shout out to my lad. Till next time, look after yourselves, look after one another, and I really hope I'll see you all soon.